Hey everybody, it's Josh again. Those of you who are new to this game, welcome to Joshawott, the Power of Eevee, a Pokemon Mega Man mashup game. And for those of you who have seen this game years ago, welcome to version 1.5.1. Yes, you thought it was all over when Nintendo took this game down from the Game Show years ago, but it is now back as an itch.io download. So, explain this game a little bit, for those of you who have never seen this game before. I made this game because I started to get a little bit tired with Pokemon's old mechanics, like catching Pokemon, defeating gym leaders, becoming champion, blah blah blah. So I decided to remake Pokemon as a 2D shoot-'em-up platformer. So it has all the action of Mega Man, combined with the fun characters of Pokemon. Let's start a new game and get into it, shall we? Joshawott's the boss Pokemon, Team Aqua. Best team ever. One day, Joshawott's met Thompig, boss Pokemon of Team Magma, got kidnapped by the evil Team Rocket. Joshawott decided to go save his best friend, but realized that the entrance to Team Rocket's base was locked. 8 locks. Joshawott found out the only way to get into the base was to defeat the 8 Pokemon Masters that guarded the keys, the Eeveelutions. It's up to you. Will you be able to defeat the Pokemon Masters and save Thompig? Or will Thompig be trapped in Team Rocket's base forever? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, getting to the boss fight screens, you get to fight all 8 of the Eeveelutions in this game, from Flareon to Sylveon. So, each boss, just like the Robot Masters, has a type and weakness that they use. So, to start off, since Joshawott is a Water-type Pokemon, we're going to go face off against Flareon, the Fire Pokemon Master. Starting with Flareon, Boiler Force. And starting out with the controls, you get to play as a cute little Joshawott here. Space to pause the game, left and right to move, up and down to go up and down ladders, Z to jump, X to use Razor Shell or shoot Razor Shell, A and S to spin between weapons, and C to slide. Starting off going through here, you're going to be using Razor Shell against some of these fire type enemies. Since you're a water type Pokemon, Razor Shell and these are the chances. They go down in a few hits. Of course, you gotta watch out for lava, because if you are not a fire-type Pokemon, then that is death. So, lava hits as well. Not very good at platform games, this one might be a little bit but since I have played all 11 of the Mega Man games, I'm pretty much a master of these kinds of games. We got plenty of other fire type Fanseer, Eggs, even Crouches here. As for the state side, you kind of see its resemblance to Eevee from Mega Man 2. You know, think of an Orange Berry, there's a small Left Berry. Right now the Left Berries aren't very important because we don't have any weapons yet. And because Razor Shell is Oshawott's signature move, it doesn't need any power to use. Yeah, you can use Razor Shell endlessly. Other weapons you'll find, however, will require power to use. You use Left Berries. You also have Citrus Berry, which refills a lot of health. Orange Berry refills a little bit of health. Here. Supposed to be a bunch of fireballs. Magby. Got Ledwig here. Mostly just fire-type Pokemon. Pokemon seem to relate to the different elements that each Pokemon Master represents. Also, as you can see here, we don't have a Yoku blocks like in the original Mega Man. Instead, I added an even more annoying mechanic. Ditto blocks! Yes, Ditto blocks resemble platforms that will drop you if you stand on them. Also down here we got max motion. It's gonna be a little tricky to get. I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip it for now. Ditto blocks, as soon as you land on one, I just recommend immediately jumping, otherwise you will fall. Right here, you can take the boss door. The shadow blogging. Yeah, there are also checkpoints in this game. I think there's one right at the beginning of the level, one in the middle of the level, and then one of these hallways right before the boss. Anyway, now that we have made it to this boss hallway, it's time to go take on our first Pokemon Master, Flareon. So, explaining the bosses, you can kind of see that they have each of their own elemental moves, like Flareon with Flamethrower and Fire Spin against you. But each evolution also knows Tackle and Takedown, considering they are all forms of Eevee. So now we can get some Flareon. You can kind of see that Flareon does more damage with its physical attacks rather than its fire attacks, considering fire is not very effective against Joshawott. That and attack stabs. Also, Flareon is the only Pokemon Master that will take 2 damage from Razor Shell instead of 1. Mostly because Razor Shell's water, and water puts out fire, so here we go! You defeated our first Pokemon Master, Flareon!
Fire's for cooking s'mores, son!
And after beating a Pokemon Master, you get one of the 8 keys to Team Rocket's base. And you also get to learn a TM from the Pokemon Master, Flamethrower! Now I know what some of you are probably thinking. What the heck? How does the Joshawott know how to use fire typing? Well, that's because I'm a Lost Pokemon. Lost Pokemon can use any move they want to. So, ha! Well, 1 down, 7 to go. So now that we've gotten our fire type move, Flamethrower, let's go after Glaceon, the Ice Pokemon Master. Starting out in the icy plains. So yes, now you're going to be dealing with ice physics. And also going to show off Flamethrower. You can see it pierces through enemies. Since Flamethrower is effective against ice-type Pokemon, you can easily get through these enemies. Although you can kind of see next to my health, there's a power meter. Okay. Flamethrower, you can shoot twice. You can shoot it twice on screen, but it takes 1 power each time you use it. It's kind of an explanation of what Flamethrower does. We don't need to save up when we get to the boss. And also you can see we got quite a few Ice-type Pokemon here, like Cryogonal, Delibird, Eevee, and Millite. Yes, I used a bunch of different generation Pokemon. I think I used generations 1 through 6 when I first made this game, back in 2019. I haven't really updated the since. Well, except for the addition of Ditto here with these blocks. And speaking of Ditto, I am kind of a little bit interested to see Pokemon Pokopia. The fact that Ditto can transform into a human. It's basically a little bit like Minecraft. Pixelmon, as some of you may know. Got some Pokemon gifts to me. Fortunately, all those gifts are bad, so you don't want to get hit by those. Whoa, Glaceon too. Ooh, back coming useful. More Ditto blocks. Yes, there may also be water in this game, but Joshawott is a water-type Pokemon, so you can survive with water for as long as you need to. You practically breathe underwater. Now go over here, we don't be careful. Oop, because that Glaceon will ambush you. Right here. And that will like be a jerk and try to push you off the platform there. Most of these platforms that are not in water are pretty icy, so you gotta watch out for slippery face. And down there below, behind that Cubchoo, there is a Maximum Movie, which functions as your extra lives in this game. There's also a few Oran Berries, some Lepa Berries, small Lepa Berries. There are big Lepa Berries in this game too. I know a lot of you are also getting excited for Legends of the game coming out in a few weeks. That's going to be awesome. That's also going to be my 700 subscriber Let's Play special. Yeah, I'm going to be playing a new game right off the bat. So, anyway, now that we've made it to this hallway, let's go face our second Pokemon Master, Glaceon. Now, Glaceon's elemental moves are Ice Beam and Icicle Crash. Just like Flareon and Eevee will tackle and takedown as well. So yeah, you can kind of see Ice Beam. I took a lot of inspiration from Gemini Man's Gemini Laser back in Mega Man 3.
Nice try, Slim.
The way Flamethrower kind of works like Splash Woman's Laser Trident. And also you saw that that world was based off of Iceman from Mega Man 1. Learn the TM, Ice Beam! Although the music I used in that stage was from Gemini Man's Mega Man 3. Even though, because I think Gemini Man's music fit more with Glaceon than Iceman. Anyway, that's 2 down. Now 25% of the way done with the evolutions. Next, now that we have Ice Beam, let's go take on Leafeon, the Grass Pokemon Master. Starting off here in Evergreen Forest. So yeah, now we're going to be dealing with enemies that are using super effective attacks against us, rather than not very effective ones. I believe there are only 2 of those stages, which are Leafeon and Sylveon, considering water and electricity are water type. Grass and electricity are water type weaknesses. So you gotta be careful here. Although if you want to, you can still use Flamethrower against most of these enemies here, because it's also super effective against them, just like Ice Beam. Ice Beam is more effective against Leafeon than Leaf Blade than Flamethrower. You can use Flamethrower as much as you need to. You've got Sunforas, Shroomish, even a Tangela. Lots of grass type Pokemon here. Fortunately for them, grass types have. They're one of the types that have many weaknesses, kind of like rock. I think they're a type of rock, how many weaknesses they have. Yeah, as you saw there, that Razor Beam has a 4-shot, did like major damage. But yeah, grass, I believe, is tied for the most weaknesses with rock, considering both of them have 5 weaknesses each. And electric is still winning with the least amount of weaknesses. Actually, no, electric and normal are tied for the least amount of weaknesses, having 1 each. Yeah, you can kind of see how you even got Xenon's actually metals. I got some of the enemy inspiration design. You kind of see we're moving through a giant tree here. Lots of trees growing the Evergreen Forest. And now you can kind of see like the canopy of the trees. They even got Pansage, kind of like Pansear. No, not that one. You have a left there? No. Never mind. Go back to Razor Ship. Let's say Ice Beam for Leafeon. Alright, we should be almost at the boss room. On the way, you're going to be attacked by Deerlings. Jump. You gotta be really careful with them, because all they do is jump. Now engage this boss hallway again. Let's go ahead and switch to Ice Beam. Take on Leafeon. So now it's playing Leafeon elemental moves. She uses Leaf Storm, sorry, I keep forgetting the wrong fails. Leaf Storm and Leaf Blade. You can kind of See, I took some inspiration from the other Pokemon Masters, the weapon design.
Bon voyage, Crouton!
And also you can kind of see the stage was taken from Woodman from Mega Man 2. Although I just added a few extra rooms to it to make it not as identical. Anyway, we have learned our third TM from Leafeon. Leaf Blade! Yeah, if Leaf Blade or Leaf Storm hit you during that boss fight, it would do quite a bit of damage to you, so you gotta be very careful. Especially since Leaf Storm is harder to dodge. But anyway, to finish this episode off, I think we can do one more boss fight. So, let's go ahead, since we have Leaf Blade. Well, I know most of you are probably thinking we should go after Vaporeon next, because grass is effective against water. But, considering there are no ground, poison, or steel-type evolutions, I had to make some exceptions to the type weaknesses. So, this is going to be a little off-beaten path, so we're going to go against Sylveon, the Fairy Pokemon Master next. And Sylveon's level is the Fairy Simulation Lab. So yes, because there are no poison or steel-type evolutions, I had to make grass Sylveon's weakness. You can kind of see there's a fairy-type Pokemon here. It's funny how fairy types weren't introduced until Generation 6. And fun fact, Sylveon was actually one of the first designed fairy-type Pokemon. I guess you could say that Sylveon invented the fairy-type. Even got some other fairy-type Pokemon, like Fairy, Jigglypuff, Snubble, and even Wigglytuff. As you can see, Leaf Blade's doing some good damage. The reason I chose Leaf Blade is because I made it so that pollen spores mess up fairy magic. Kind of see, there may be some glitches happening in here, and that's because this is not a real fairy land. It's a fairy simulation lab back in Hollows. Actually, that's what Pokemon Legends CA is going to take place. Back in Tokyo City, back in Hollows. So yeah, that was fun. And also you can kind of see I got Leaf Blade from Blade Man's Triple Blade back in Mega Man 10. And also you can kind of see that the stage's design is a little bit like Magnet Man from Mega Man 3. And you may think those are flowers, but don't be fooled. Those are actually the death spikes. We got some legendaries to refill Leaf Blade. Last quickly, look at the boss door. Oh, that purple column, that's what's running the simulation. That's why most of the glitches are happening here. Now it's time to go take on the fourth boss, Sylveon! So next explaining Sylveon's elemental attacks. We'll use Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast. Dazzling Gleam, it just makes it so that next move is a little more unpredictable. Leaf Blade, you can even hit him while he's moving.
Sorry, ma'am.
So yeah. Leaf Blade makes quick work of Sylveon. We have learned our fourth TM. Moonblast! Which will work a lot like Metal Man's Metal Blade, where you can aim it in certain directions, like all 8 directions. Yeah. With that done, we have now defeated half the evolutions. So with that, I think this is a good place to end this off here. So, next time on Joshawott, the Power of Eevee, we are going to be taking down the last 4 Pokemon Masters. Umbreon, Espeon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. In order to get the last of the keys to Rocket's base. See you guys on our side.